Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Recently I have done a lot of hikes and nature walks, and I've seen some amazing animals, so if you don't mind, I'm going to put together a compilation for you to enjoy.
Learning how to use his trunk. He's gotten amazing. He can like pick up that little ball, that little tire that day just flicking around. So he's getting more and more confident, and he's absolutely loving these tires. But elephants will drink milk in the wild for about 3 years. So Limpopo at the moment drinks about 30 liters a day. to bottle that you're eyeballing, and he will guzzle that down in seconds. Because Limpopo is so young, this is stage 1 of about 3 stages. So we're over here, we run the Zimbabwe elephant nursery, and what that means is we rescue milk dependent cubs. And so he is one of 7 that we have at this stage. We have 7 in our release site in Vic Falls, which you'll hear more about when we chat and we meet the other elephants. Yeah, and we actually have a really cool success story that 2 of our elephants have gone wild, which is very exciting, which gives us a little bit of hope that, you know, things are going terribly. But Limpopo is still quite young, so he doesn't spend the whole day with the bigger elephants. And yet you will generally hear that there are too many elephants and that we are overpopulated in places, but that's mainly just because we have put up fences or barriers to stop their migratory things, and so that is the real issue, the people. So
oh, look at these little
Rocky
tykes.
decided that although she can't save everyone, she'd love to try and help Zimbabwe out a little bit. And so she started the nursery. So it took a lot of time, a lot of research. She did a lot of work with the David Sheldrick Foundation in Kenya, and they helped her a lot. They gave her a lot of information. I spoke a little bit about Limpopo's milk, and they also helped us like with a lot of that information and learning that it's important to rotate the handlers. And yeah, own Unity, who is committed to tucking her tongue in, her trunk in, is decided that she will never hold her own bottle, and there are people here to do that for her. She does not need to do that.
Clever.
Yeah. Wandering on his own, and we noticed his legs, so he was rescued with 2 others, and the 2 others that he came with went up to Vic Falls to be released, but he stayed behind just so we could sort of check his leg. So he broke his leg just before he came, just above his knee, so that's why it's quite swollen and it's calcified around the joint. So now you'll see he'll like swing it around. But Mr. Kura has done so well, and he is getting released, hopefully, well, he's getting taken up to Vic Falls.
Oh, that's good.
Soon. Yeah, and so we're very excited for him. We don't know that he'll live a wild life completely. He might just live a semi-wild life. Hey Kura, this is interesting. You don't usually come around. He might just live a semi-wild life, like half in the boma, half with, but the David Childrick Foundation did say that they've had elephants with worse injuries go and join a wild herd, because he can't really, his leg does get quite tired, and so when they go to sleep, he'll be the first one. He'll like go into the stable, go to sleep, and be on his way. So we will just see how he decides how he wants to play it.
They catch. Ah! Hey.
Mateo is very protective of his little baby, so he won't let anyone get too close anyway, but he will also bring her around the group so you can see her a little bit close up. Hi Mateo.
Hello, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. How's your baby?
My baby is very well.
Good. So, except for those guys who've been here before, is this the first time for everyone to see a pangolin?
Yeah.
Awesome. So her name is Marimba, and Mateo is the gentleman who is looking after her today. These two have an incredibly close bond. Is now weighing 11.5 kgs and measuring over 1 meter in length. So she has grown considerably in the 14 years that she's been here. But she hasn't put on any weight for the last sort of 3 years. So we think that she's at her maximum size. And I think Matteo is the most grateful for that, that she stopped packing on the pounds, because he carries her around for about 10 hours a day. So it really is his gym, but yeah, she has stopped growing. So that's putting her at roughly about 15 years old now, and she is currently the oldest living pangolin in captivity of this species. So we are incredibly privileged to have her in our care. But there's a really long history of pangolins being picked up and gifted to the president or to the chief of a village in this country, and it's because they are considered to be good luck in the Shona culture. So it was really common for people to gift them, either as a way of bestowing luck on this person or just being able to meet the president or sort of have that kind of meeting with them. And with Marimba, we think it was a case of mum had been poached. So, I mean, the 3 shipments have essentially sort of totaled about 6
that's sweetheart.
of scales.
Your little nose
The
bubble.
15-ton shipment was estimated at 46,000 pangolins. So it's probably close on about 60,000 if you just do like a quick.
Come on, do it again.
We only know that she's a female from doing an ultrasound. Otherwise it's impossible to tell the difference. But those really long claws that she has are essentially her arms. So when we watch her walk, you'll notice that she tucks those up underneath her chest.
It's concentrating.
Right.
I wonder what is on my mind.
Hey, sweetheart.
That is her running.
So
Yeah.
What good balance. Right. And that is basically her top speed. that is her running. Her sort of DF5, which is also why you can see why it's so easy for people to pick them up.
I did want to talk a little bit about the pangolin because this is kind of what inspired me to make this video. You heard a little bit of the talk from the lady who was there to help us, but pangolins are not a very well-known endangered animal. There are not that many pangolins that are kept in captivity because frankly we just apparently don't know enough about pangolins. They are typically a nocturnal animal, and also apparently they don't really drink water. You saw the gentleman Matteo, who has been with this particular pangolin for about 15 years now, and he spends so much of his days with her, but apparently in that 15 years he's only ever seen her drink water a handful of times. So it seems like they get their moisture, their liquids from the ants that they eat. So that makes it harder to even understand, how many of them are there out in the wild, because typically those surveys are done near watering holes because we figure most animals need to drink. So their numbers are very hard to track, and unfortunately they are a highly trafficked animal. Many of the traditional medicines that we see, particularly in Asia, do demand keratin, which is what their scales are made of, and it's pretty much the same thing as rhino horn. And now that the rhinos are being poached nearly to extinction, if not completely to extinction, the pangolins are pretty much next. Even though there are many different types of pangolins, they are not very well known. There are only a handful that have been kept in zoos. Our scientists have not yet taken the time to truly understand this animal that honestly might go extinct before we're able to fully appreciate and understand it. This creature has no natural predators. Much like an armadillo, when it gets scared, it just curls up into a ball, and its armored plating pretty much protects it from anything that it could find out in the wild until we get to humans. It's honestly such a shame that we're hunting or poaching this very beautiful and peaceful creature for medicines that truly don't work. There's much more to the pangolin story that we don't know, and I think that I'm unable to portray. So if this brings just a little bit of awareness to the problem that we're now facing, again, pangolins are a replacement for rhino horn, and this is the reason why they're being extremely trafficked now, and more so than they have been in any other time. So this is just my little soapbox to talk about a pangolin and what it is and why I feel so passionate about this, and why truly I've dedicated a large section of this video to this very small and very unknown creature. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below for content that will be similar but better than this. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. All right, bye.